it downfield. It is. Oh, it's caught. John Moran in the clutch. Oh, my word. Oh, my God. Deep to right field. Way up there. And way down the sideline. Jefferson. Another huge run. Jalen Red broke tackle. Stayed on his feet.
What's poppin', everybody? Blake Neiman at you here again, and there is a lot of tension building up that I've been noticing as of late between the MLB and its game's top pitchers. This is due to a new rule that will be put in place this Monday, putting in a sticky situation, upping the MLB's enforcement of the rules that prohibit applying foreign substances to baseballs. Under the new guidelines, any pitcher who possesses or applies foreign substances in violation of the rules will be ejected from the game and automatically suspended in accordance with the rules and past precedent. Suspension rules under Rule 3.01 are 10 games. So the 10-game suspension would be put in place. And starting pitchers will have more than one mandatory check per game, and relievers must be checked at the end of the inning when they entered the game or when they are taken out of the game, whichever comes first. Typically, the inspections will take place between innings or during pitch changes to give the umpires ample time to perform a thorough check-through without delaying the game any further. But as pitchers have learned how to use substances to improve the spin rates, the issues and its effect on their offensive performances has been much more pronounced, leading to the league intervention. After largely staying quiet in previous years, hitters finally came out swinging at baseball's sticky stuff problem. Nobody is speaking up for the hitters right now, said Josh Donaldson, a very powerful hitter for the Minnesota Twins. He told reporters this earlier in June. It's probably not going to be taken as serious as if it's a rookie or somebody else who doesn't have as much time in the big leagues. I felt it was almost a responsibility for me to say something with this. That's how serious I think it is. Good on Donaldson, I think, for speaking up for the hitters, as the game is being ruined by these substances. It's already hard enough for these guys to hit the most elite of pitching the league has ever seen. They don't need it to be made even harder on them through illegal foreign substances. Hitters started this season hitting a season all-time low of .233 as a league batting average. People want to watch baseball and see action, hits, the defense making plays, not just to see these pitchers sit down hitters left and right, and unrightly so. Unsurprisingly, though, the mood among the league's these pitchers right now is one of outrage, because although this change will be easier for the hitters to adjust to, it will be a major change for these pitchers who have been disobeying the rules and abusing their foreign substances on a consistent basis. Several pitchers have came out and expressed their feelings towards the new rule and how it is/will affect them. New York Yankees star pitcher Garrett Cole became the latest player to speak out against the league's new stance on these foreign substances. After his start against the Blue Jays, Cole said he wants to have an open communication with the MLB regarding the use of these substances. It's so hard to grip the ball, Cole said. For Pete's sake, it's part of the reason why almost every player on the field has had something, regardless if they are a pitcher or not, to help them control the ball. According to Cole, the best way to handle the situation is better communication between the players and the commissioner's office. We are aligned in a lot of areas with the commissioner's office on this. Please just talk to us. Please just work with us, Cole added. I know you haven't had the hammer here, but we've been living in a gray area for so long. I would just hate to see players get hurt. I would hate to see balls start flying up at people's head. I had a really tough time gripping the baseball tonight, especially early when it was windy. Speaking of players getting hurt due to this new rule, Tampa Bay Rays pitcher Tyler Glasnow spoke out after he suffered a partial tear in his ulnar collateral ligament, UCL. Glasnow stated the only substance he'd ever used was sunscreen, but without the gripping the ball, it was very much harder on his arm. I switched my fastball grip and my curveball grip, Glasnow said. I had put my fastball grip deeper into my hand and gripped it way harder. Instead of holding my curveball at the tip of my fingers, I had to dig it deeper into my hand. I woke up the next day and I was sore in places I didn't even know I had muscles in. Glasnow suggested that the MLB should have enforced this in the offseason so pitchers would have the ability to adapt. He said it is very difficult to switch up your mechanics in the middle of an intense season, which is why he believes that this change is what ultimately caused his injury. Overall, there's a lot of confusion and gray areas between multiple sides. I can definitely see the pitcher's perspective after you've been adjusting to it and been able to use these foreign substances and get away with it so many times and just have almost just become accustomed to using them as a part of your pitching routine. And now you have to change that in the middle of a season. I totally get that you're trying, that your mechanics are already set in place and you want to stay in rhythm. But you also have to understand that baseball is also a game of hitting, and that is why where most of the entertainment come is action between the players and the pitchers. And these hitters, when they're hitting at all-time low, there's definitely a problem, especially if foreign substances are being abused much more than often. So I think, in my opinion, this is a great rule that is going to help the hitters and the game of baseball overall just get back and more in how it should be played, a legal game. And obviously, even pitchers from the White Sox and other players have say, well, you didn't enforce this on the Houston Astros. They didn't get suspensions. And now these pitchers who use a little bit of sunscreen or something are going to get 10-game suspension. And none of those Astros players did. And I can totally see why this is very unfair from that. But we can't focus on the past now. We can just only focus on the future and trying to make the game of baseball better for both the hitters and the pitchers overall. The pitchers young pitchers coming up can't be like, oh, it's okay to use foreign substances. That's fine. All the MLB pros are using it, so why can't I use sunscreen when I pitch? So we just got to get back on track and get back to a legal, more clean game. And trust me, in the long run, it'll be good for baseball. So I'm agreeing with the commissioners and MLB on this one. This will be a good rule, but definitely these pitchers are going to have to adjust and find a way to prevent themselves from injury. So, hope y'all enjoyed. You can catch all of it and more on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and or YouTube. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day.